If you love pumpkin pie and love bite-sized snacks, these mini pumpkin pie bites are just for you. Let's get busy. All the ingredients and baking supplies are listed in the description below for your reference after the video. We're going to get started by making the crust with 1 tablespoon of milk into a large pot. We follow that up with a 1/4 cup of water right into that same pot, and then a pinch of salt added right in there. And we're keeping that burner off for now, but it's ready to go when we need it. Let's get back to the island here, and we're going to put 2 cups of flour into a large mixing bowl. Then here, we're going to have 3/4 cup of shortening. Join that party. Let's get back to that stovetop and turn that burner on to high and bring this to a boil, and this will happen very quickly. Then, without missing a beat, bring that over to the mixing bowl and pour that in immediately. And here, Julie grabs her gloves and she mixes this by hand. Now, you certainly can buy your own pie crust from the store, but Julie loves to make her own pie crust because it's so much more flaky. I think it just makes her think of me. Now, as we watch Julie wrap up the mixture of this pie crust, this is a great time to hit that subscribe and like button, and you'll be notified every time we release a new video like this. Now, Julie's moved that pie crust over to some wax paper and flattened that out a little bit, and she'll grab another sheet and lay that on top. Then grab that rolling pin and roll that out gradually until you get to the pie crust thickness that you want. Alright, looks like Julie is almost there. And once you get to that thickness you're looking for, you just peel off that 1 layer of wax paper just like so. And then we'll move on to the pumpkin pie filling, starting with 2 large eggs into a mixing bowl, minus the eggshells. Let's scramble those eggs up with a fork really quick. We're going to grab 15 ounces of pumpkin puree here and add that into the mixing bowl, followed by 3/4 cup of sugar. Then we're going to move on to our pumpkin pie spice here and add a 1/2 teaspoon. You might even want to go with a full teaspoon. Now we're going to want to give this a nice, good, thorough mixing. And we're going to speed up Julie here to see how this fully develops into a beautiful and super tasty pumpkin pie filling. But it's not quite done yet. We need to add in 12 ounces of evaporated milk. And we're going to give this a nice thorough mixing. Watch Julie at 5 times the speed here. And it was about this time I told Julie that she probably should have used a bigger bowl. She said, "Nope, I'm fine." And then she did that. She was cracking up here, but I can't play the audio because there's music that's copyrighted in the background. We can't get in trouble now, can we? We're going to spray down this baking pan, which is a 24-cup mini muffin pan. We've only got one of these so far, so we're going to do these 24 at a time. And it's time to get that oven preheated to 400 degrees. Let's grab 1 small scoop of that flour and place that on the wax paper. And then we're going to grab the 3-inch daisy cookie cutter here, rub that a bit into the flour, and then we move over to the pie crust, and we cut out our mini pie crusts. Getting these as close as you can to each other to maximize the number you have for each time you roll out the pie crust. Then grab a small spatula to scoop out each of these individually. You can see sometimes they're a little bit stubborn. Once you get it out, you flip it over onto your hand and then you can move it over to the pan. Then simply lay it flat over a mold opening. Then Julie's going to grab her brand new tart tamper here, rub this a bit into the flour, and then use this to mold your pie crust. There's something just so satisfying about watching that work. Then you're going to want to grab all the scrap pieces of pie crust, roll those into a ball, and then flatten that out, and then repeat the process until you have all 24 molds filled. For this batch, Julie only needs about 8 more of these to fill all 24 molds. Currently, we only have 1 of these pans, so we're going to have about 3 batches of these to use up all of the pumpkin pie filling. And there is number 24 for this first pan. And don't those look just so cute there? And now it's time to make them even more cute. You want to fill these up about 3/4 of the way full, and this will help avoid them overflowing while they're baking in the oven. Just 2 more to fill here. There we go, looking really good. Now we made enough pie filling for about 1 full pumpkin pie, which is just about 3 of these pans, and 3 pie crusts, depending on how thick the pie crust is. Before baking, Julie likes to make an egg wash to put onto the crust, and it makes it a nice golden brown. Here she's just scrambling up the egg with 1 tablespoon of water. Then you can use a small brush just to brush that onto the edge of the crust. And when we've completed this, the oven should be done preheating. Perfect timing. We're going to bring this over to the oven here, and we're going to place the timer for 10 minutes at 400 degrees. And after that first 10 minutes, we're going to open this up and give it a quick rotation, 180 degrees, and put the timer on for another 5 minutes, at which point we'll check in.
You're so cute. I'll make them go more. I'll make them go like 3 more minutes.
In our case here, Julie thinks they need 3 more minutes. At which point she checks in again, tests with the cake tester, and everything is looking good. So we're done here at a total of 18 minutes of baking. Just 2 more batches to go. We let these cool off for a few minutes before we take these out for the next batch. And most certainly when it's time to serve, the whipped cream on top is a must, followed up with a gentle sprinkling of cinnamon. Oh yeah. Be sure to check out our recipe for our baked pumpkin donuts, which you can see by clicking right there. If you have any questions or comments, please do share below. Until next time, God bless.